Alright guys, I know it's been a little while, but welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney. I kinda wish I took a break, like, after Case 4 instead of, like, when I just started Case 5, but oh well, that's just kind of how things turned out. Yeah, I called Saul. Better call Saul. I also, yeah, okay, I'm just checking. Making sure the chat works. It does. Good. Alright, so we're gonna continue Case 5 with my kind of crappy headphones. Oh yeah, right. I think we were about to do like a Sholmes spectacular or whatever. That's what I like to call them. Well, Mr. Strayed, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. Where the blue blaze have you been, eh? Pardon? Well, ladies in trouble, what you gents supposed to be there at? Straight away, not an hour later. Harsh. I love how he just fell. And who, pray tell, are you? Mr. Egget Benedict, you have, in my eyes, a very-to-be encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I've drawn. I beg your pardon? The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you've not yet revealed. By the way, it's gonna be a little awkward to me at first because I'm using a different pair of headphones. I'm using kind of a cheaper set of headphones. I'm planning to go out and buy some new headphones. I want to get like some, I need to get some longer ones because these headphones have a really short cord. It's not as long as the other headphones from the Beats headset I was using. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, while you'll orchestrate with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? How? He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg. You seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes made a flawless deduction. Just who do you think you are, sir? Oh yes, as I'd hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. So, shall we begin? The time has come yet for yet another Sherlock Sholmes logic and reasoning spectacular. Yeah, I want to make sure we had as much time as possible for this. Mystery man's aim. They have to fit the entire sentence on there, so they made sure it was short enough. Sorry, I just had some pizza pockets and a donut. My typical breakfast, along with some tea. I'm trying to make sure that I am full enough so that when I finish this, I can just go straight out to Walmart. Well, I don't know about Walmart, but I do want to buy some headphones. I'm going to try out some of those, like, shitty headphones that I get from Dollarama, because they're only, like, $3. And I'll see how those go, and I'll see if they sound decent enough. Otherwise, I might have to get some actual good headphones. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to fold this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what you brought to the shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there's some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane which you unwittingly clutch to your person exhibits an uncontrovertible contradiction. What on rot? I've had this cane for years. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing furu. What's a furu? Google, I'm gonna need you for a second here. Damn it, I shouldn't have had that. I shouldn't have my Twitch open. Definition. A ring or cap, typically a metal one, which strengthens the end of a handle, stick, or tube and prevents it from splitting or wearing. So... well, it says a stick, so I guess, yeah, it could be on a cane, technically. What is the purpose of a fur rule? Broadly speaking, are there any sort of ring to reinforce a shaft or bind together strands of a material? Okay. That's good to know. The end of any walking cane will be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare. I like how he has to, like, zoom in on it. Therefore, there's only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And that you're recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking king demands such a stout handle? Mused I. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod is the broken handle of a shovel. Huh? Are you insane? And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What a calculated crime you conceive, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. To tunnel underneath the pawnbrokery. Great crime. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. Oh yeah, by the way, I can't lay down anymore because these headphones are actually too short for me to do so, which is another problem with these. I miss my beats already. Every time I have to wear these headphones, I'm just, like, in shame because, like, they're not as good. They're not as good. They don't sound as good, they're not as comfortable, they're not as loud. Everything is just off about them. For we must expose the details of the elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, gentlemen, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is an ample reason. As you're only too well, Mr. Benedict. Oh, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this, and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter, to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. What if we have to point out the gun and not the clipboard? This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out to the local area. Man, I haven't used a clipboard in so long. Like, the last time I used a clipboard, like, I don't remember using one very much in high school, but definitely elementary, and that's a long time ago. We used to always take clipboards outside with us and we'd write shit. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewage works, beneath the shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank of the opposite side of the road. This man has entered the sewers, now has it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you'd gain access to the waterway. That flows in very close proximity to the Great Vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you? In summary, sir, you devise a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Yes, let me point at you some more. Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer's no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. A postcard of the Great Exhibition? I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway, and the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank, on the other side of this road. Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you've been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of the bank, the special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it on your hat, please. To steal the Great Exhibition's reserve funds. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle. Well, this'll be fun. These are always fun, I like these. You know, it's actually like, it's like doing a cross-examination, but you also get to examine shit at the same time. Which is part of why I like it so much. Mr. Sholmes? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I am impressed with the upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? Was it true what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault? Indeed, though few know of its existence, it's one of the government's most closely guarded secrets, and I just told you. Gregson told me, in the strictest confidence. So you're just gonna betray that confidant, huh? But you just announced it to everyone here. Rather loudly, in fact. Ah! And it was such a big secret. How would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? There can be one explanation for that. Clearly it's because the man's a criminal. But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you revealed the secret. Oh! Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windybank will. He already has plenty of shovels here, after all.
Oh my life, I hear I'm no unscrupulous.
Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care. One can never be so sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them, and once the word's out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. An excellent idea. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure. Yes, let's listen to that great deduction again, and see if we can massage it into shape. Unfortunately, this is all gonna go up on YouTube very late, but, you know, what are the odds that I finish this game before my community guideline strike is over? That'd be pretty funny, wouldn't it? Very well then, let us start once more from the beginning. I found like Sholmes' magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular. No, get the fuck back here, Mr. Sholmes. Or maybe he's saying hold it like, hold it, you know? I like how it says correction. Like, even the game knows he's wrong. I gotta stop yawning in the morning. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. So, by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor. Yes, an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he? No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time? The cane, maybe? That's a proper English gentleman's cane, isn't it? Look at the beautifully polished brass on the handle. I almost want to get a cane just so I can say that I have one. You know, as a kid, I would always grab sticks. And I'd like walk around with the stick and say that I'm an old man, because I have a cane. That was fun. Yes, if Mr. Sholmes is right, it's not the sort of handle you usually see on a cane. Perhaps it's the latest London fashion. I mean, that's just guesswork, of course. Perhaps you could adopt a cane, Mr. Naruhodo. He might rather suit you. I have a feeling I might argue with the sword around my waist. That's a good point. What else can I interact with? The hat, maybe? The hat. That silk top hat's whiter than white. Only an English gentleman would carry off something so bright. But it looks so incongruous with the black overcoat, don't you think? Perhaps it's the latest London fashion. I mean, that's just guesswork, of course. How about it, Mr. Naruhodo? I think you'd look very fetching in a white top hat. I prefer black top hats. I'm not like, Isn't like their Mario artwork of Mario with a white top hat or something? Or am I thinking of the black top hat from Mario All-Stars? Well, you know, I think I might look rather incongruous with my black university uniform, so... I don't suppose there's anything else I can examine. Well, there's nothing else I can examine, right? What brought you to the shop is it's either the cane or the hat. Well, let's think about two things. Either he came to fix the cane, or he came to get his black top. Maybe he has a black top hat in the storage or something. I'm not too sure which one it is. We could also examine the flyer, I suppose. Certainly is a flyer for Mr. Windybag's shop. Let's see. Windybag wants you, pawnbroker's assistant required. It's an eye-catching advertisement, that's for sure. I've seen the same flyer up here outside the shop, I think. Perhaps Mr. Windybag's always in need of more staff. So Mr. Benedict came here to apply for a job? That's just too hard to believe. Is there anything else I should examine? The buttons, of course. Does he not have anything behind his back? I don't suppose so. I can't really manipulate the camera any more than that. Something to do with the tie. Well, let's think about this. What will be more valuable, the cane or the hat? And which one? I think the hat seems more out of place than the cane, because he's wearing a white top hat. What if he has... I'm gonna go with a hat. That's my gut punch.
Take that!
Okay, it's not the hat. Can't judge a book by its cover, as they say. Someone who appears wealthy may be poor. Being such a man, you're desperate for money, when you realize you had no real need for your hat. You brought it here today with the intention of pawning it off for as much as the broker would give you. That's not at all what I was thinking, but alright. What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruhodo? Just following the natural progression of deduction, sometimes the truth hurts. Well, the truth is, you do not have a 10 for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot. Alright, well, if I lose another life, I might start save scumming, because, yeah. I still don't quite understand why this gentleman came to Mr. Windybanks today. He might look like a smartly dressed man about town, but perhaps he's destitute, really. I really think that's the only explanation. We must stop thinking along those lines, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I suppose you're right. Well, in that case, perhaps there's something in the pawn shop that the man was looking for. Let's look closely and see if there's anything about this person that gives us a clue. So is it the cane then?
Take that!
Oh, it's not the cane either. Oh, what the hell? What the hell? When you realize you had no real need for your cane. No, it's neither of those. What the fuck could it be then? It's gonna be something that I didn't even see. Is it? Is it the shovel? No, I can't examine the shovel. So is there something that I haven't been able to examine yet? The camera? Is it even something on his person that I can examine? Oh, this is confusing, man. Oh yeah, you can't save scum during these. That's the thing. Well, it can't be the flyer, obviously, because we already examined that. I'm examining just about everything. I can't see shit. It's not the hat. It's not the cane. It's not the... Scribble writing. Oh, that's what it is. How the fuck did I not notice this? Once again, I end up missing something. Oh, look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here. I don't believe it. What is it? Doesn't know what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade, height 5'2", green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade. Goodness, there's even a sketch of her, hat and all. Although if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure. And look, the details of the shop have been written down here too. Windybanks Pawnbrokery, Bakery Street. Redemption deadline 15th April. Which is today's date. I hope Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper. Oh my god, it's the scribbled writing. Info about Miss Lestrade. Suspicious writing on the back of a suspicious flyer, in the hands of a suspicious gentleman. I didn't think there was anything suspicious about the flyer, Mr. Naruhodo. But yes, Miss Lestrade's name and height, and description of the clothes she's wearing. Not to mention the sketch of her likeness, which I'm fairly sure she wouldn't take lightly. And today's date, too, redemption deadline, 15th April. We can't let this go, can we? It's far too sus. Okay, it must be this then.
Take that!
I gotta be careful now. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. And, I'm gonna take the opportunity to save, just in case. Do it in slot 19. I'm almost out of save slots now. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of the flyer pertain to the pickpocket Miss Lestrade and to Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery here. Oh. You originally told us that you'd merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled line. Is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today, by which I mean here to Windybank's pawnbrokery, and today the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So you wait outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. And you've gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade. In other words, there's some ulterior motive for your actions. So it has something to do with the cane? What's a furul? It's the metal cap commonly found on the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, I guess I didn't need Google after all. The bit that makes the nice clacking sound on the pavement. Yes, exactly. And Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on this cane. But it doesn't actually look broken, does it? No, it doesn't. Though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as sus. In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. We can talk about the hat again. Initialing. Seems important. Look here, Mrs. Otto. There's some letters on the handle. It says, AG. Ah, yes, those must be initials, I think. AG? What could that stand for? In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letter of their names. So Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean? That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously... Oh. AG? Why does it feel as though that's not quite right? I mean, that is definitely a contradiction, though. But maybe I should have a look at something else first. It wouldn't be the hat, obviously. Stylish as it is, no that is. I don't think this white top hat suits the man, do you? No, not at all. The more I look at it, the more something strikes me as sus about it. I think perhaps it's not so much that it strikes you sus, but rather that the hat's just striking. I suppose you're probably right. Perhaps the hat isn't what we're looking for. I think it's definitely the initials, then.
Take that!
Okay, for once I didn't get this wrong. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Eggett Benedict? Yeah. Even if you pronounce his name with an A, it's still, the last initial doesn't make sense either way. We are led to believe that your initials are EB, like EB Games. It's too bad they shut down. Yet in a most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane-bearing initials AG. Who the fuck do we know that has AG in their initials? Nobody. Well, I guess we have yet to look at the, we haven't looked at the portraits in a while. Herlock Sholmes, the world-famous great detective above whose lodgings Mr. Sato and I rent our own office and rooms. An extraordinary young girl who lives with Mr. Sholmes. She has a degree in medicine and is the author of a popular series of short stories published in a prominent magazine. Pop Windybank, the proprietor of a pawnbrokery on Baker Street that's regularly patronized by Mr. Sholmes. He has a very great sense of responsibility to his clients. A young pickpocket who we first met during a trial 2 months ago. She and Iris have become firm friends since... Wait, they're friends? That's interesting. A young English gentleman with an aloof and high-handed manner. He appeared at Windybank's pawnbrokery accusing Gina of stealing his redemption ticket. Nobody in here has the initials AG. Yeah, in a most... Oh yeah, I read that. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't... You said before that you had that cane for years. So don't try to tell us you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. I mean, that is possible. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? There's something else we gotta figure out. The handle which you evidently would like to conceal is the key to understanding this riddle. Let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat, and I have to sneeze. I hate sneezing. And now a mysterious man appeared, introducing himself with a fake name, and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him. But we know that he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a written description, which suggests that everything he's told us is untrue. So what we need to do here is somehow prove the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. Well, there's a split seam here. Oh, the seam on the shoulder there is coming apart. Look. So it is. Do you know, a moment when Mr. Benedict was surprised at something that was said, I thought I heard him make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl. And I think it was probably the sound of the seam ripping open. Look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. The sleeves are stretched to bursting, and you wouldn't have a hope of fastening at the front. If you were to run around it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart. That I'd like to see. Sorry? So how can you make Mr. Benedict run around? She's really giving this some thought. I don't really see anything else I can examine. There's the hat again. Do they have something different to say about the hat every time? I've been looking closely at this hat for some time now, and it suddenly occurred to me that a bright white top hat like that might just be the hat for me. Oh, now he likes the hat, does he? You like it, do you? I think I do, don't I? Well, in that case, you could see if isn't something similar along Mr. Windybank's forfeited items. After we've concluded our investigation, we must focus on the task at hand in the moment. Well, obviously it isn't the handle. I don't even think I could examine, like, the bottom of the cane. No. I mean, unless there's something else that I don't know about on him. I'm gonna try the split seam.
Take that!
Oh, okay, that is it then. The split seam which you evidently would like to conceal is the key to understanding this riddle, you see? Oh. Yes, because the overcoat's rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so badly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. Oh. This catalogue of untruth has all been for very one specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Windybank. But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined had been considerably curtailed. To abscond with a redeemed item. Ooh, music's getting better. Have we heard this song before? I don't know. It doesn't sound very familiar. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to filch some tawdry article of appanage? Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword? Had I not been the one to deposit in the first place? How could I possibly know the relevant details? Ne sais pas. Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you're only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Oh, and your photo glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let's consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. The method is revealed by the counter notice on the counter which you later inadvertently drawn. The reduction of the deduction must be rather dramatically now, I think. Yes, no more talk of tunneling into the sewers. What if he, like, held Windybank at gunpoint or something? Which is a pity, because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword. Yes, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Windybank would never allow you to redeem the article. Or looking at it another way, if you did know that word, Mr. Windybank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? I'm going to go with my... I'm going to assume it's the pawnbroker's revolver, but we'll have a look at some more things. This is Mr. Windybank's gun. Yes, loaded with only one bullet, he said. It appears that being a pawnbroker is a very life-or-death profession. It might just be this particular establishment. Maybe not. What about, well, there's the lamp. I don't think the lamp has anything to do with it, but we'll later, you never know. This looks to be quite an old lamp. But it's obviously been well looked after, and there's oil in it, too. In other words, it's still in use. Yes, it would appear so. But as for how it could be related to Mr. Benedict knowing the watchword for the pawned article, I have no idea. That makes two of us. What else could it be? The notelet? Oh, look at this, Mrs. Otto. That appears to be a memo that Mr. Windybank scribbled to himself. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, Professor. That must be it. Mr. Windybank must make a note of the watchwords his customers give him right before their eyes. An alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear. I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see? Okay, that might be it.
Take that!
Yeah, as long as you examine everything, you could probably figure it out, but sometimes I just don't examine everything because I'm stupid and I don't look at every single angle. The method's revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response uttered on a note that he has to hand. Then he consults the ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. I'd expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in the shop before your accusation against Miss Lestrade. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windybank. Didn't, like, Mr. Windybank, like, leave for, like, a few seconds? When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword as is common practice, you observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. How the fuck did he do that? And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the pawned article from the young Miss Lestrade. Master plan? Which brings us to at last the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? Her ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally you had very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells all we need to know. The articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets. which according to Mr. Windybank isn't even worth a penny. And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why? I wonder if perhaps we already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo. Could we? Really? Better have a thorough look through all the evidence we've collected so far. Seems pretty obvious to me.
Take that!
Wait, no? It's not the music box disc? What spectacular contrived logic led to this mindless conclusion? Oh, well, it's supposed to be a logic reasoning spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage. Sorry. Wait a minute. This man's used some fairly high-handed measures to try to get his hands on the overcoat and the disc. He certainly doesn't want either for their monetary value, though. Still, they must be of value somehow, to someone. This is the last piece of the puzzle. I better have another look through the evidence, see if there are any clues hiding. You know what? I probably didn't actually examine the music box disc. Oh, man, I'm so dumb. Wait, it says Mr. McGilded on here. Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck onto the reverse side of the disc. Look. And a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. For McGilded.
McGilded? It couldn't be.
But it is, Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget for as long as I live. But why? Why is his name on this? Oh my god, I'm so dumb, I didn't examine the disc. Okay. That would explain it. Also, we can have a look at the blood, I guess. We have the little bumps on the disc. They're so tiny. Yes, protrusions are called pins, and they pluck the teeth of the comb to make notes. And just on the edge, there's a small amount of blood. Yes, the blood of the mysterious Mr. Eggert Benedict. When Miss Lestrade tried to grab the disc from him, the pin scratched his fingers, it seems. Like when you're grating some daikon radish and accidentally catch your finger. Ouch, just thinking about it hurts. Oh man, I've done that. One time I cut myself on a cheese grater. I'm not joking. Puts me off eating radish.
Take that!
Okay. It is the music box disc, I just didn't fucking analyze it fully. You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. So what's that on the back?
It reads for McGilded. Ah, Mr. Magnus McGilded. The unfortunate philanthropist who perished under the curious circumstance of the Old Bailey 2 months ago.
Damn, that was 2 months ago? Yeah, hasn't felt that long to me, at least.
A prominent man in London, though his lone-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate?
Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature, in fact. He was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you squeeze yourself into.
It was his overcoat?
Oh.
Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Eggert Benedict.
Well, even despite that... wait a minute. Yeah, even AG doesn't line up with his name either. We still don't know who AG is. I wonder if it's gonna be a case where we never actually find out who it is.
But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilded. To acquire an item deposited by Mr. McGilded.
Well, yeah, his initials will be MM, right?
Elementary deduction complete. Well, well, Mr. Magnus Begilded. Not a name I expect to hear in these circumstances.
Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind.
Pray tell, Mr. Zotto.
Well, according to what Mr. Windybank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the coat could have been redeemed, was it not?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited.
Well, today's 15th of April, so 2 months ago today. I've given this guy like 20 different voices. I cannot decide on a voice for him.
Would have been 15th February, sir. That's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see.
What? But that suggests... Yes, 15th of February.
Is precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place.
And 10:30 in the evening. It's precisely the time in which the terrible events were unfolding. Ooh, are we actually gonna get a part 2 of Case 3? I really like that.
Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter's entirely beyond coincidence.
This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted, like, a continuation of Case 3.
You're of course at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However, I must insist you hand over the music box disc now. It'd be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box.
What do I do? Gonna stick to my guns. There's some things a man must protect at all costs. This may well be one of those things. And again, it may not. Wait, that's his voice? Mr. Windybank.
This is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to take my own life.
Mr. Windybank, no. Alright, that's enough. Oh, shit. Inspector Gregson.
Inspector? That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So we got here as fast as we could. Now, what's all this about, eh? Oh, praise be, you're here at last. I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my own very establishment.
Damn, good save.
It would seem you have the upper hand.
It's over, Benedict. I have the high ground.
Right, you've a lot to explain to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy.
Petty? Mr. Windybank very nearly met with his end.
Yeah, by his own gun as far as I can tell. Oh dear. And the whole life of Britain could not meet it with its end if I don't get to the bottom of the case I'm supposed to be working on.
What on earth is the case, Inspector?
Spare no detail, Gregson.
I might have said a little too much. No matter, it's nothing to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. Oh! He's getting away! Get after him, lads! We saw the beat officer, too. Sir.
Damn, is he like a mass criminal or something?
There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently, so we fitted emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. Oh, Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed.
He's just gonna have a different voice every time, because I don't fucking know what voice to give him.
Now then, Mr. Permanently in mourning.
Oh, yes?
I'll be taking that whatever it is of Mr. McGill did. It's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, at least it's safe with the police, you know? No, don't give it to him. It's mine, it is. Mine.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGill did has to be taken in as evidence now.
As evidence? I don't really have any complaints with that, honestly. Fucking yawning again.
If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate.
I'm gonna guess that means, like, obeying orders.
It's all yours, Inspector.
And so we handed Mr. McGilded's disc over to the inspector, into Inspector Gregson, and we're summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street. Oh no, to be continued? Oh no, I kind of want to keep going, honestly. This is too short to be a stream. Hey, you know what? Why don't we go a little bit longer since I haven't streamed Great Ace Attorney in a few days.
See, that's why grown-ups always do feed you pack of lies and take stuff away from you. Oh, really, Miss Lestrade? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm?
What? Oh my, surely you're given that. Yeah, the deal that would keep it after I dug daggers at him for long enough. He went through the pockets and then said, "Go on then, have it," for telling me a scupper. Always pays off giving people a look like you ate him.
Can't help feeling it's gonna get you into serious trouble one day.
What I really wanted was that nice shiny disc, mind. The music box disc?
Well, Mr. Windybank said it was practically worthless.
I think I'm gonna give another bash. Give him a long hard stare.
I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shan't enter Windybanks again today.
Why not? That's not fair.
Can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Windybank.
Well, that disc's mine. I had the ticket for this coat, and it was in the coat's pocket. And there should be someone else and all. That's what that Ron Cove said, ain't it?
Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he?
Well then, that's mine too, whatever it is.
She's really pushing her luck. But it's cute seeing her all pouty like that.
Miss Lestrade, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for today.
Yeah, and it's all your fault, Sholmes.
So what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening?
Eh?
Iris would be delighted to come, I'm sure, and I might entertain you with a Morris violin recital.
Did you actually you got your violin back, right, Sholmes?
No, Tar.
Oh.
Why would I come year-round place, eh? Have you lost your head or something?
Aw, man. I thought she would have had a turnabout where she'd be like, "Hey, that's a nice alpha," or something.
Oh dear, she's gone.
Haven't reviled on me, quite unnecessarily, I might add.
I can't help wondering if perhaps he might turn up anyway.
Interesting.
Once she had a chance to calm down, I think there's a chance she'll decide to come.
Well, very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guests at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too.
Sorry?
Or sorry?
I believe I'll have a rather splendid surprise to show you.
Oh, how exciting. What is it?
You shall have to wait and see, Mrs. Otto. Until later then.
You know, we haven't gotten the chance to examine this area yet. Look at all the different things in the window of this shop.
Ah, that's Windybanks, the pawnbrokery.
Looks much smarter than a pawnbroker's in Japan, isn't it?
Yes, you're right. I find pawn shops at home rather inapproachable, personally.
It reminds me of a tearfully parting with my favorite pen, or favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable.
What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mr. Naruhodo.
It's that's like an entire thing.
Closed.
Okay, honestly, there's not really a whole lot to actually examine out here. It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here above Mr. Sholmes' office. That's where he lives, huh? Nice. Still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this.
Oh, I know. To actually be sharing accommodation with the world's greatest detective? If I ever find myself before a court of law now, I'll have not one regret.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'd be happy to defend you, of course. Okay, I do have to wonder something. Is this area a 3D model, or is this area a 2D graphic? Because if it was 2D, that would honestly be really impressive. Anyways, it looks like that's all that we have here. So we can't go to Windy Bank.
Unfortunately, we can't gain access at the moment while Scotland Yard is investigating. What a bustling place. Oh, London's such a fantastic city.
So we can either go to Sholmes Suite or the legal consultancy. I mean, we might as well go to Sholmes Suite first. "15th of April, Sholmes Suite." Oh boy, time to do my high-pitched voice again. Oh, no, hang on, I can't do it yet. I need to take a drink. I have that, like, I have that thing where, like, I get, like, snot in my throat, and I hate that. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Whatever, that's disgusting. You don't need to hear about that.
Ah, Susie and Runo. Come in, come in.
Good afternoon, Iris.
Thank you so much for breakfast this morning. Oh, don't mention it. Goodness, look at the time already.
Busy as always?
I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening.
Already? You're obviously cooking something special, are you?
Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is? Go on, you'll never guess.
Look at those little eyes of hers shining.
Oh dear, it's awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Gina. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, what a surprise. Yes, what wonderful news. Oh, Iris seems overjoyed at the idea.
I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional.
Oh yes, that does sound like fun.
I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Are you, Mr. Naruhodo?
By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to? He's in his casual clothes again, I see.
Haley? Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes. I beg that you won't speak to me. Sorry? I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here. Oh, great. He's depressed again, is he? I don't know how to respond to that.
I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything.
Yes, I see.
Really, he behaves like a child sometimes, Haley does.
It's really ironic that he's the one that acts like a child, and she's acting like the adult around here.
Mr. Sholmes have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they?
Yes, except that Iris is clearly the parent here. Come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are.
What's the matter, you know? You have such a funny look on your face.
Oh no, it's nothing.
I know it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sholmes, you're wondering? Am I right?
How? How did you...
Oh, Reno, I can read you like a book.
I can read you like an open book. This girl's dangerous.
Don't worry, you can ask anything. I won't mind.
We're actually gonna get to hear the backstory. Real quick, I've examined everything already, right? Oh, thank God I don't have to examine everything again. I didn't want to have to do that again. Here, Hey, you wanna see? Oh, right, we don't have the disc anymore. I can't present that to her. I wonder what would happen if you, like, hacked that into your inventory or something again. She'd probably just say, like,
I have nothing to say to that.
or something. Guinea. So by Guinea, you mean Melissa Strayed, the young woman from the McGilda case 2 months ago, right?
Yes. Who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher? Although, after that trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now we're the best of friends.
Oh, what a lovely tale.
Yes, now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can.
Oh,
And I chase after her down the back alleys, in the back rooms.
Interesting idea, friendship. Is it a one-sided friendship?
And then I let her have the latest color smoke grenade I developed.
oh.
There are so many beautiful colors in the world, Guinea wants me to make a whole rainbow.
I suppose this means you've let Mrs. Strayed keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you?
Yep, that's right. I got bored of it anyway. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now.
Or Hurley.
Ugh, I can't wait for Guinea to arrive. It's been so long since she last came over. I'm so excited.
I just hope she does actually come. Living with Sholmes.
I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you?
Well, it has crossed my mind. That and where are your real parents?
My mommy and daddy aren't with me anymore.
Wow, she got real serious.
Mommy passed away when I was born. And around the same time, my father, well, he had to go to a faraway land because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on.
Oh. Wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley?
Yes? Daddy and Hurley are always solving mysteries cases together.
She didn't mention that before.
He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what this male chest is over here.
Really? He recorded them all?
So, you mean it's true? Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of the most taxing cases.
Oh yeah, I mean it's always nice to have one, isn't it?
So Mr. Sholmes' partner was your father?
Exactly! Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest. But that only made me want to look even more, so I opened it up.
And found your father's memoirs?
Yeah, so I asked Hurley. Who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair.
I mean, cue that sprite of, like, Sherlock Holmes just, like, falling over.
But then he told me that's when I found out the author of all those accounts was my father.
So Iris' father was Mr. Sholmes' partner. Ooh, this is the kind of stuff I wanted to hear since, like, case 4, man.
I practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So, it came as quite a shock. And Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy, I mean.
Must have done.
I wonder why Mr. Sholmes chose to tell you, and at such a young age.
Well, you know, I think it's better than being told when, like, you're an adult or something.
Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me.
Oh?
Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say that his ways have rubbed off on me.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. She's doing all, like, his poses. It's cute.
There are some things I can just see. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying because they open their mouths sometimes.
Right?
Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read Daddy's diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, actually.
I always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you all those thrilling stories.
Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he solved the case, It all but vanishes from his mind.
Oh, that's why she writes it down, so they can remember the stories together. I like that. That's why I have a diary, so that I never forget what I did that day. I write down in my diary every day of what I did. Usually it's just like simple things like, oh, I played this game at this time, or oh, I went for a walk at this time, or I talked to my wife at this time. That kind of stuff. But I think it's useful anyway. It's like I can look back 2 years in the past and be like, oh, you know, I wrote down all this stuff.
Oh, I see. The other day, it was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone.
You can say that again.
You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson. I learned from his diaries that he's a doctor of medicine, you see.
That's what I thought, too. I had a feeling it was Dr. John H. Wilson, and I was like, oh shit, her dad's dead.
That's what prompted me to study so that I could earn a doctorate as well.
Iris' father, who went to some distant land, and is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. Oh, we haven't seen this judge in a while. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. That's right, visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who, in the most bizarre circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. Mr. Zato.
Yes?
Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time.
I think that'll be for the best.
So she doesn't know her dad's dead? Oh, God. Oh, my dear fellows, how good to see you. Oh, what's that? The Sholmes, you're already done being depressed?
Ah, Mr. Sholmes.
Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you? We've been with you for most of the day. Oh, goodness, really?
Do tell me, Mr. Sholmes, is your violin unscathed?
My violin? What are you talking about, dear madam? Never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. What, something more interesting than a violin? Behold, my dear fellows. Is that the missing disc?
Oh, another music box disc.
No, not another disc, Mr. Zato. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence. Mr. McGilded's disc.
Oh my.
And then, what's it doing here? You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that though I have an undeniable turn for detection, I may well be even more adept at larceny. Wait, you stole the fucking disc?
Ugh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'd be your pickpocketing assistant. And Rita could be our go-to lawyer if we ever got caught.
Right.
Plus, Susie had such beautiful handwriting, she could write all our menacing crime notifications.
Yes, I'd be delighted. I'm just gonna pretend this conversation never happened, I think. Alright, surely there's nothing to examine, right? Unless the violin's there. Oh, the violin's there. Now this really is Mr. Sholmes' faithful performing partner, then. The Stravanar, the Strappy Scar, the Scrapifarius? No, it's not good, it's gone. The virtuoso's violin that he found at pawnbrokers and managed to buy for next to nothing.
After all he went through to get it back, he's just cast it aside on his chair. I was looking forward to hearing the beautiful sound it makes when Mr. Sholmes plays it.
Maybe that'll be our reward for beating the game. Does look rather sorry for itself there, doesn't it? Although, at least Wagahai hasn't attacked it yet. Even if his eyes are saying it's only a matter of time. I think everything else has been examined. Hey Iris, you want to have a look at this disc? Oh, no. She's just standing there for fun. Oh, he hasn't given us the disc yet. I don't understand. How did that disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard.
Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this.
That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Sholmes.
Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken.
If you humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc.
I'll be taking that whatever it is, Mr. Gillett, down to the yard. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, of course, we read this already.
For the briefest of moments, I had a disc in my hand, did I not?
Yes, you did. But I still don't understand.
It was at precisely that moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into the pair of bars, like this.
That's amazing. The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel.
Indeed, this caramel's quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting. The result of a precisely controlled solution.
So wait, is it like a fucking alloy or something?
How extraordinary.
Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press and its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment.
Yes, it sounds illegal.
From the image, I was able to create this. I confess, I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played.
So wait, he fucking, like, he pretty much, like, burnt a CD, basically. he burnt a fucking CD, dude. Oh my god.
Do tell us it, Mr. Sholmes. What music does the disc play?
Well, unfortunately, I have no idea.
No idea? Pull out your fucking Grammy, then.
None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows?
No, I'm afraid not. No, you heard about it, Reno. See, you read about it in the shop, bro.
Goodness, you don't know, Runo? Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Small protuberances collect the different teeth that come as they rotate past it, making the different notes. The first music boxes to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protuberances on it.
But over time, a new type of player was produced, which uses discs as these. Wait,
I just noticed. It's playing his theme song, but as a music box. That is really funny. That is actually great, honestly.
With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide, all around the globe.
Why exactly?
Because the discs are easy to produce, and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes.
Well, yeah, that's why CDs were so easy to make back in the PS1 days over cartridges.
There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result.
It's wonderful to be able to enjoy music even when no performer is present.
But it's the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem.
What do you mean?
As you may imagine, the construction of one's firm's music box does not match that of another. And we have no way of knowing in which music box's particular disc was designed to be played. There's no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable.
Oh, I see. So that's why...
Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. But as you can hear, to no avail. Just sounds like gibberish, probably. There is also equally unsatisfactory in this one. So, I'm presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe.
Every single one? That's Hurley for you. Always taking things too far.
But my dear girl, an all-solved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution. But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? Yes, that is certainly true, in the worst case. I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room.
What?
Magnus Begilded. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon. Yeah, it's only been 2 months since that grisly case. Yeah, we got the fire! Fire! Come on, Mario. Play the fire sound effect. Fire! Mr. McGill perished within those hours of the trial's conclusion. And we got Mr. Dracula over here. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows, still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved in was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial,
The newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case.
I love that we're gonna get to find out more about it. The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. And although Mr. McGilda was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. It would appear the case is not yet closed.
Well, it's time to start getting things ready for dinner, I think. Gina will be here before long.
Thank you, Iris.
Oh, well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do.
I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Yes, you may be right.
Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Windybank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he?
Did he?
Yes, he definitely mentioned it.
Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe.
You heard about that, did you? I expect you were as incensed as I was. Oh yes, the idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windybank's storeroom, gathering dust.
My dear madam, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it, more secure than a bank's vault.
And what about your Stradivarius, Hurley? Was that safe and secure?
Well, there may be an occasional mix-up. Caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now.
Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Bakersville story, Hurley?
Or did this say Baskerville? I think it said Baskerville.
Oh, it sounds exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I would love to read it.
What?
Ah,
But what? What's wrong? What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room?
Susie, what did you just say? You said the Hound of the Baskervilles? But how could you know the full title?
Well, that's because Mr. Zato's such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course.
But Reno, the Hound of the Baskervilles has never been published.
What?
When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet.
I don't understand.
That's why he said he'd keep it safe. Until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see?
So that's why the manuscript is at Windy Banks?
And yet, how could Cece hear and know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on?
Uh-oh. What is it, Mr. Sholmes? It would appear our guest has arrived. We're just going to completely ignore that, huh? Miss Lestrade.
This was a bad idea. Oh, I knew I won't welcome. I'm going.
No, wait! Miss Lestrade!
No, please stay.
We've been all eagerly waiting for your arrival. Haven't we, Iris?
Oh, yes. Just wait there, Guinea. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy.
Wow, she sure perked up rather quickly, didn't she?
Here, let me lay on my side a little bit. I may not be able to lay back, but I can at least lay on my shoulder a bit, even though that's not the most comfortable thing, but whatever.
Come along, Susie.
Right, of course.
It's a pleasure to see you here, Miss Lestrade. Please make yourself at home.
Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. What say you to some Mendelssohn? I won't take no for an answer. Meddlesome it is, then. Kitty. Even the cat's here. That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome, and Gina, as we all came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night. Oh, is that another to be continued? No, not quite. Every time it fades to black, I think it's going to be a to be continued. I've actually only been going for an hour 24, so I can definitely go at least another hour. Maybe I'll reach the next TBC by then. That was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Iris's cooking was truly divine.
Divine hate. And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sholmes' violin even now.
Best of all, I bet I could steal the glasses from his lordship's face next time we're in court. Oh. Naruhodo-san, can I consult with you about something, I wonder?
What's the matter, Suzato-san?
It's about the telegram I received.
Oh, are we finally going to know about that? The one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose.
I've been summoned.
What? Summoned? What do you mean?
The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart has asked to see me.
The Lord Chief Justice? When?
Tomorrow morning.
What? Then we have to start preparing at once.
Oh, no, that won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san.
Wait, is she gonna be on the jury?
I've been summoned alone.
Alone? What on earth for? She's gonna be on the jury? What the fuck?
I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow.
What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. Yeah, knock knock, bitch. Oh, who could that be, I wonder?
Good evening, friends.
Ah, Iris. Hello again.
And Gina, too. Yeah, Ginny's here to stay with us tonight. He's going to sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Ginny? Well, yeah. How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. You know, I learned so much about today. Oh, what in particular? All those things Ginny showed us. Wasn't it wonderful?
Ah, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques? We had fun trying that on each other, didn't we?
I think I awakened a natural talent. I can earn a living from it.
You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So, what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour?
Well, you see, I came to return this.
Wait, what? That's mine!
Oh my.
Wait. Oh, I was like, let's say, do I not have it in my inventory? Okay.
However, did you... I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it.
Oh yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius. Yeah, she's like the Stewie Griffin of this game.
Wait, here, you can have it back. Not that I really understand why you wear it, though.
Thank you.
Alright then, good night.
Yes, good night.
So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Ginny?
I think I wouldn't fancy me chances with a lawyer what lives in a place like this.
Yes, me too.
Seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about.
I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript.
Yes, I suppose she probably does. Alright, is there anything that I can examine?
Hey now, what are you doing?
Look, I'm not gonna steal nothing, alright? It's all junk anyway. Charming. I suppose I should engage our guests in conversation, really. Oh, so I can't examine. Well, that's fun. We got to hear that dialogue anyway. Here, look at my armband. Would you mind if I showed you this, Iris? It's just a boring old thing, really, but...
Oh, I don't really like boring things.
Looks like Japanese modesty is easily misinterpreted by young Western children.
I mean, who does like boring things? No one wants to be shown something boring. Come to think of it, you're always introducing things with, this is boring, but it's a bad habit. You should stop it.
I'll be sure to let the entire population of the Empire of Japan know on my return. Alright, let's have a good old chat. Chimity Chum. The manuscript. I have an idea. Why not, like... Here. Why don't I put, like, my pillow over here and I can just lay my head on it? That could work, yeah. This is very awkward. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me? I'm so sorry. I need a little more time, please.
No, they look so sad. No, don't do this to me.
Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward.
Oh no, not at all, Iris. Not at all. I don't know what all this is about, but... It's a story you made up, isn't it, Iris? This manuscript, whatever you call it.
It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries. daddies?
That's right. I don't suppose I mentioned it to you before, Guinea, but my daddy was Hurley's assistant once. His partner.
Eh?
Okay, that was not comfortable at all. I should not have laid like that. Jeez.
They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together.
Is that right, mister?
Apparently so. I was as surprised as you are, though.
And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I study them and write my stories based on what actually happened.
So, where's your man now, then?
He had to go away on urgent business to faraway land, and he'll be gone a very long time. So, I've never really met him.
Oh, right.
Come to think of it, I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her. Well, in a bit we will. Iris, this Hound of the Baskerville story. I take it that's another tale inspired by your father's accounts? Also, now that I think about it, wasn't there like hounds in the opening or something? I think so. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the autosave at the top. I was like, what is that? What is that save file?
That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow. From the other case, I mean.
Oh, how?
I don't really know. But it must be special in some way. Because after I ran and showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I ever seen him like that.
It pains me to have to say this after you told it over for so long, Iris. But this story must not be published this time, under any circumstances.
But why not? It's one of my best works.
I'm not at liberty to say, not now, so please do not ask me.
Alright then, I won't.
But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right. That's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Windybank, isn't it?
Yes. Hurley said it had to be somewhere very safe.
I really guess my it does. He's treating you like a child. I mean, it's mean, that's what it is. Keeping secrets like that.
I'm sure Mr. Sholmes isn't trying to be mean.
Eh?
If he said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason.
I think so too. You lot are trusting for your own good. I can't pull all over me eyes. Sholmes is lying to Iris. I bet my life on it.
What?
Hurley is lying to me?
That's not good. Don't say that. I've realized that I don't know anything about your parents, Gina.
I ain't got any, have I? I never did have. Oh. Look, the East End's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us from the minute we're born, not even our mums. But we all stick together. The other ones look after the linens, make sure they get by.
Oh, that's why... Is that why Gina and Iris are such good friends? That's cute.
So that's why you're a pickpocket. Nah, giving's my life. I love it. I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's all we all afford to eat. I'm like Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it. Oh, Gina. I do think about it sometimes. What it'd like to have parents, I mean. Always thought we made everything right. But having listened to what Iris just said, sounds like having parents ain't always easy either. Oh. I mean, if you know you're having, you don't feel like you always want to meet him. It's true. I do want to see Daddy so much. Oh, Iris.
I'm not crying, you're crying. Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris?
Well, he reckons he bought him the manuscript or whatever, right? Come on, that's obviously a load of rubbish. Oh my, why do you think that, Gina? It's simple. That story was really an old Winnie-back story. There's no way someone over halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Oh. Sorry, Iris, but if you must ask me, he sold it. Well, telling you. But Hurley would never do something like that. I'm sure of it. Ha! Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realised it yet. I'm telling you, that manuscript ain't Windybank's. You'd seen it if you had a look. You think you trust him? I don't. That Sholmes a liar like the rest of them. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. See? Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden the manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. You know it's wrong of me to doubt him.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Iris.
Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along, Guinea. We should go back downstairs. Yeah, alright. And please, don't mention any of this to Hurley, will you?
No, of course not. Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina. Why does her name like that?
You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning. I insist. Oh, yes please. I can't wait, Susie. Good night then.
Iris, sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult. But deep down, she's still just a child.
Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Naruhodo-san.
Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris's father, but also the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yume University. It can't be a mere coincidence. There's something deeper going on. Ooh, things are getting interesting. Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo. That voice. That's Mr. Sholmes. What's going on? It's the middle of the night. It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone. Gina? She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed's empty. Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home, no? I think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received the distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Susato. No, I don't believe the girl's gone home, but I'm waiting for over an hour now. Over an hour? Oh. If you'll indulge me, look out of the window, my dear fellow. What's this about? Oh, did they break into the fucking pawnbroker again? Wait a minute. Why is there a light on at this time of night? That's Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery. Mr. Windybank's? Oh no.
It's simple. That store really was an old Windybank storeroom.
Oh my god, they're breaking into the store? Oh god. Could Gina have gone? Seems you have the same knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Oh no. No, not really. Well, anyway, we must investigate. At once.
Mrs. Otto.
Wrong voice. Mrs. Otto. Ooh, this is getting good. Baker Street at night, damn. Door to Windybanks is open.
And the lamp is burning.
Must be Gina, wasn't it? Let us hope it's nothing more sinister. What? Come, there's not a moment to lose. Clearly something's afoot inside. There's no one here. Oh yes, there is. Bang.
Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes!
What the? Has Sholmes been shot? Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo. But after them, go. Right. Blast. I've lost them.
Hello, hello, what have we here?
The alarm was just raised from the pawnbroker, sir. Would you know something about that?
Officer, come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Sholmes. He's been shot.
Shot?
With the policeman close behind me, I ran back to Mr. Windybanks. Ooh. Got a really interesting CGI cutscene. FMV.
Mr. Sholmes!
Mr. Naruhodo.
How bad is it? Never mind me, but there's much at stake. Behind that door. In the storeroom. Hurry!
It's locked. Oh shit. Wait, is he dead? Oh no.
It's Gina!
Something really bad happened in there. What the fuck? To be continued. Ooh, that's a really good to be continued, honestly. Oh shit. That's such a great cliffhanger. Oh god. Okay, I might have to start overwriting my old saves then. There's gonna be a third investigation, looks like. I don't think there's ever been a fourth investigation. So, yeah. I'm surprised we got quite a bit done then, didn't we? We got part 1 and part 2 finished. Not bad, actually. Alright, guys. Well, that'll be it for Great Ace Attorney today, I think. I think I'll be good. If I am not doing anything tonight, maybe I'll do another part of this if I'm bored. I'm kind of interested in that. So, as always, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch. And, I will see you guys later. So, bye.